Okay, now we're live.
Epic.
That's a
Okay.
cool jersey. What is that? I like that.
Oh, thanks. This is a Sum 41
Oh, nice.
like hockey jersey. I got it there like
Canadian.
farewell tour thing. So, yeah, I like it. It was really expensive, unfortunately, but it
No, it's
was
nice,
like the
dude.
last show, so I was like I got to get it.
Yeah, man, they're from Ontario, close to where I
Yeah, they're super
grew up.
cool.
Yeah, I used to
Hell
love
yeah,
them.
hell yeah. Yeah, yeah, you know, I'm glad it ended on, a nice good note.
Did they stop making music?
Yeah, they just did their they did like a double album, like sort of just like farewell
Okay.
sort of thing. They're
That's
just kind of like, we've been doing it for like 30 years. We're gonna do other stuff now,
30
sort of thing.
years. Yeah,
Yeah,
I get that.
crazy.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, no, they were super cool. They're great. Love those guys.
Yeah.
Sweet. Well, I'll get the formal aspect out and just read your bio. Give everyone a little sneak
Epic.
peek of what's to come.
Awesome.
All right. All right. So Braden Ross is a genre bending artist from Seattle, Washington, known for fusing modern hyperpop production and a flair of 2000s emo with raw vocal delivery and lyricism. In December of 2023, he released his debut EP, Dialogue, showcasing some of his most standout tracks while capturing themes of insecurity, love, and self-reflection. Garnering an impressive following on TikTok, Braden continues to push the boundaries as a self-produced independent musician. Welcome to the
I
show.
wanna die, no, not literally, fuck, just wanna cry, cause I hate the way I look. I'll realign my spine and hide inside the baseline. Anything I can do to feel unalive.
Is it really you?
Welcome.
Thank you. You make me sound so professional and cool. Wow.
You are.
Thank you.
You're a real professional.
Appreciate it. Likewise. Thank you.
I think the last time we saw each other, I think it's the only time we met up in person. Was it like 2021?
Yeah, like the last and first time.
Yeah, the last and first
so
time.
far. Yeah, in LA for that like show thing, like the house show.
Just a random, yeah, super random show. Ben was there though, which was cool.
Yeah, Ben was there. Yeah, that was interesting. Yeah, that was like my first like foray into that sort of like self-produced like, I don't know, show, and I've never done anything like that since. But it was fun. Yeah, I mean I've done other shows, but like nothing like that, nothing of that nature.
I was worried that stage was just gonna like collapse.
Oh yeah,
Just
totally.
like a tiny little like plywood. I don't know what it was. It almost looked like it was like one of those oh, what do you call those things that you like stack stuff on in like
Oh, like
warehouses?
pallets.
Yeah. I felt like it was just a bunch of pallets.
Yeah, it was like half an inch off the ground.
Right.
It was pretty cool.
That's funny. Yeah, it's always fun to do those. I mean, it was a fun time.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
But yeah, I think when that was happening, that was kind of the first time you started to sort of transition from like just acoustic music, and then you kind of started to like do your own production and stuff, and kind of go down
Yeah.
that path.
Yes.
That was
Yeah. Thank you.
no, I mean, I've absolutely loved everything you've put out like since the beginning. Honestly,
Well, I appreciate it. Yeah. Thank you.
I was wondering like, yeah, what kind of made you transition more to like the produced stuff? I mean, obviously you were just starting out with like some of the acoustic stuff, but yeah, I'm just kind of curious.
Yeah. So, I mean, the emo like acoustic stuff was definitely where I felt most comfortable to like start and be in, because that's what I like gravitated towards in terms of like listening. Um, and then in that like I made a couple songs and I started to sort of see growth and see stuff happening. And then I just sort of like in that like scene that I started to become a part of, I saw a lot of cool stuff, like a lot of people pushing, pushing what music is, and I just sort of fell in love with that like hyper pop, I guess you could call it. Nobody really uses that term anymore, but like that sort of come up was like really interesting to me. Especially like because of the production aspect. Like I was always interested in like production, like when I was getting into making music and stuff. Because I used to watch like Andrew Wong videos on YouTube. I don't know if you guys know who that is, but he's like this YouTuber who's just like crazy Ableton producer guy, and I just love his stuff. So um, I just wanted to like see what cool stuff I could do too, I guess.
That's sweet, man. Yeah, I mean, I first started talking to you like I don't even know how long ago it was. Very long time.
It was yeah. It was forever ago.
Yeah, man, it's just cool to see like that you just kept going and like I don't know. It's just cool to be able to talk to, artists that I like knew from years and years ago, and like to see people still doing it and like changing and evolving. But yeah, I listened to on a live acoustic last night. I really like
Oh,
that
yeah?
dude. Yeah.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, so, and the original is really cool too. But I'm always acoustic versions are my personal favorite. Did you record and produce everything yourself?
Yeah. In this room.
No, it sounded so good, man. I was curious because I noticed like the vocals you didn't really have any reverb, but they sounded so good. So I just kind of wanted to ask you about your vocal production, or if like not putting reverb on is like a conscious choice, because I'm like more reverb, but it just sounded really good, so I was curious about that.
Yeah, no, I appreciate it so much, especially coming from you. Been a huge fan forever, but yeah, I used reverb when I was like starting a lot, um, like I think everybody does, but I sort of just I think it's because I just don't really, maybe I don't know how to use reverb effectively, but I just, whenever I put it on my vocals or like even other stuff in the mix, I don't like, I can't get it to sound better than what I would prefer. So a lot of time, like there is reverb on the vocal on a live acoustic, but it's like so quiet that you can barely notice that it's there. It's sort of just like a shimmer in the background that you wouldn't be able to like pick out, but if it was gone, you would notice, sort of thing. And I don't know, I just kind of, I don't know, I just fell more in love with like that sort of just like static, not like static in terms of like dynamics, but just like how that produced vocal sounds without the reverb. And I don't know, it's
It's
just
like more in your face, I feel like.
Yeah, it sounds like you're right there in front of you, so it's really cool.
thank you, I appreciate it. Yeah, no, and I try to make that sort of like a staple in my stuff, at least right now, just because I don't know, maybe I'll develop it further and I'll evolve as we all do, but that's
Mhm.
like my approach currently, I guess.
Yeah, I was just kind of telling Dustin last night. I was like, not everyone can pull that off, just like just I just think like reverb and all production can like mask you can hide stuff,
Oh, sure.
So I just think
I appreciate it.
yeah. So genuinely really like that. So
Yeah, you put out so many just amazing like singles, and obviously Dialogue, the EP is incredible. I really enjoy it. I think the first song, I think when you first started doing the production stuff, it was like the Useless 2.0 song.
Yeah. So that was like the first song that I fully started to experiment more with what I was doing. Before that, like I was producing them, but it was all like, the guitar, and then like I had these samples from Splice that I really liked and I used them every single time, sort of thing. And then I spent like 6 months just like staring at my computer screen and being like trying to do something different, and it took a long time, and I look back on that song like it's fine. Like I don't love it, but it was like a stepping stone for sure, um, for like where I went after the fact.
Was Pluck right after that one?
Yeah, Pluck was like 2 or 3 months later.
And then that song just like went crazy.
Yeah, that was one where I was like really trying hard to push it like on TikTok, and it never really like did crazy numbers, but it's one of those ones that like I don't know, just stuck around, I guess, and like the algorithm found it on Spotify and just kind of carried it. So for that one, like I'm grateful that one took off as well. I do like that one too, but and I'm sure you guys have this as well, but I can go back and listen to it and think of a million things that I would have done differently in like in my current form, right? But yeah, and then it just sort of kept like very very single heavy in that
Mhm.
era for me.
I just like the production is like I feel like you obviously like with the Useless, it was kind of like okay, I'm like you're stepping into that territory, and then Pluck, it kind of like it's still kind of like you're just like dipping your toes. But I feel like so much after that, like the production just went absolutely crazy, like just awesome, like glitch pop stuff, like granular sounds. Like I don't know, it's just it's incredible. Like every time I remember the first time I actually heard, I think it was maybe it was like Eric Doa, or I forget
Yeah,
how to
yeah,
pronounce
Eric
his name.
DOA.
Eric DOA with Break-Ins. They had that song together on his album. I don't remember what the name of it.
I don't remember the name of the album. Yeah, it was Things You Do to Me or something like that.
Yep, that's it. And I remember hearing
Yeah.
like that feature verse and just being like, "What is going on? This is insane!" Like, so that was like the first time I heard that genre, and I think a lot of people like at the time were like, "Whoa!" Like, I think we can like evolve our current production a little bit, and I feel like it kind of inspired a lot of people. I know it inspired me to like really go outside of the box with production, but I feel like you took that and just like went full max, like just
Yeah, sure. Yeah. Yeah, and I had that sort of, saying I love that song, and it came out in like 2020 around the time when I was getting started, and I, heard it and was sort of like, yeah, that's awesome. That's like exactly it. And I, maybe took that a little too, what's the word? I held that to my chest a little too tightly, probably. Because I've dealt with a lot of like comparison in my later, years of artistry and whatnot. Which I'm not gonna say is unwarranted. Um, but it was like, I don't know. It's sort of just like a genre thing, right? If someone invents a new way to do something, a lot of people are going to gravitate towards it, and then everyone's going to branch off eventually into something else.
Yeah, man. There's only so many ideas and sounds. Like you can't get away from that. Like we've all dealt with that. For me, it was like never shout never back in the day, But you just gotta like do. I don't know. I think like we were talking about this in a different episode where a lot of music is like kind of mimicking. But then once you start doing that, you develop your own branch of that. So I just feel like it's a necessary thing, and it's still you. But
Yeah, well, yeah, no, totally. And thank you. Yeah, again, I, yeah, I now I'm like a lot more like, I guess, like confident in like myself as a musician. I guess I have my moments, right? But comparatively to like I don't know, like a year and a half ago, um, like it's doing a lot better mentally from that aspect of like musicianship. So yeah, it's definitely all like a process that thankfully I made it to the other side of without like letting
yeah.
it get to me too much, I guess.
I never understood that like whole internet just BS controversy of like the whole break-ins clone thing. Because I was like, I obviously saw your journey from like the absolute beginning. I don't know if I don't know if like Ben posted something where I've like found your Instagram. This is like way back in the day, probably like 2019 or something. I don't know. And I found you a long time ago. And so seeing your journey from like the very beginning to like then when you started like producing more of that kind of stuff, to see people on the internet just being like, say that like the whole break-ins clone thing. I was like, what are you guys talking about? Like, this is like completely original to me. And I'm an actual musician. So it's like, I don't know. I
Right.
never understood that.
Yeah, there's like a very weird, especially in that particular like fan base, like I don't know, like a
Weird like
weird need
cult
to
mentality.
defend that too. Yeah, because like there a lot of comments I get are like, oh man, he's gonna be pissed when he hears this, like because and I'm like, okay, sure, and like I sort of had I had a cool moment where like I got a follow back from Breakins, and and I messaged him. I was like, dude, like that just means a lot that you followed me back because of all like the stuff that people are usually saying about me. Because it like can be tough, and like there was a lot of times where I just had to like leave social media because I just couldn't deal with it. Like during my EP rollout, because that was like a big like time for me in terms of like notoriety and like people's eyes on me, and so there was a lot of like negativity, and so I was like, yeah, just like thanks like for vindicating. It was like, oh dude, it's all good. Right? So it's like he doesn't give a shit, right?
Yeah,
So why did it's just weird that like so many other people do.
Yeah, man, that's the thing. And I'm sure you've dealt with this on a, bigger scale, but it's like when you get that, like attention and the success, like then there's the whole other side that comes with it that's like unavoidable. So, how was that for you? Because you mentioned like mental health and stuff, like, because I'm sure once you kind of hit that like more viral thing, and it's probably a lot more pressure, on yourself. Like, kind of what was that kind of like for you, if you don't mind talking about it?
Yeah, no, totally. Yeah, so that like it's really funny, kind of. Like it's very ironic, that sort of time for me because I was really pushing TikTok for like 2 years, and I had some moments, but I didn't have anything that like really brought me forth into anything bigger, right? And I did this like rollout for a single, and I did all the promo, and I was making TikToks, and it was like same old thing, right? And then I had like a conscious decision, like, okay, I'm gonna work on a project, and I'm gonna make it something that I like. I'm not gonna focus on TikTok during the fact and like the promotion of it before it's even done, because like that's something that I had been doing, and I'm sure a lot of other people do as well, but just because of like being a person and being an adult and being living in this like day and age, I just didn't have time to like if I was putting 50% of time into, the promotion of a song that's not even done, that leaves me with 50% of my life to do the song and like work and like being a person outside of that. So I consciously made the choice to step away from it. And sort of as like a like for the people that were watching my TikToks and watching my videos, I was like, I'm just gonna record this little like bit of a song that I just finished writing and post it as like a, hey, I'm not gonna be posting for a while. I'm trying to get, you know, I'm trying to bring something back, once I'm done with whatever it is that I'm gonna do. And I posted it, and it got like 750,000 views, and like and the whole song was about that mindset of chasing that like virality, and then to have that happen, it was like hard to like keep my brain on the track that I had decided to be on. So and I think I did do that. I still posted, but I wasn't frantically posting every single day and getting discouraged when it didn't work out. And so for that like year, from like I guess December of 2022 to December of 2023, when the EP came out, was like probably the healthiest in terms of like for me, from like the promotional aspect, I guess. Because the whole EP is about that whole idea of, being an artist in this digital sort of age where instant gratification is so prevalent, and like everybody's dopamine receptors are all messed up. And it did well. And because it did well, then I, had to struggle with falling back into that mindset. It's just a weird, like cyclical situation. So yeah, that it was difficult for sure, to stay away from it. And then the other thing with like the hate stuff, it was like that was just like throughout that year as well. Because as soon as you like get bigger, people start to hate you more, I guess. um, but yeah, I'm sorry. I don't know where to take this next because I kind of have been yapping for a while.
No, we love it, man. That's the whole point. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah, no, it was an interesting time, and I'm in a weird place now where I'm trying to not necessarily replicate that whole like saga for me, but I'm gonna like currently like things have died down, right? Like it sort of was like a exponential growth to then like a sort of plateau area. And I'm trying to navigate that now as an independent artist to see what I can do next. And I'm also, while also trying to, be grateful for what I have and what I've had, right? Um, which can be tough just because, of the human brain and whatnot.
Do you feel like that, talking about like plateau, do you feel like it's like what you were doing changed, or do you feel like it's kind of like just out of your control, algorithm decides what happens? Or like do you kind of ever spend time like what happened, like how do I like how do you see that?
Yeah. Well, I have my like um yeah, like a ton of those thoughts have like run through my brain for sure. I never know what the algorithm is even like or what I'm supposed to be doing. And I feel like at a point I did, at least like when I was focusing so much on TikTok, right? But now that I'm not, I feel like out of touch, I guess. Um and so like that is kind of weird. And so trying to figure that all out is tough. And then I also like I don't know if it's the content, like if I've changed, because like from my point of view, I haven't, but according to the numbers, like something's different. Um, and so I worked a lot with SoundCloud during the 2022 to 2023 like year, um, because at some point they'd reached out to me like previously about using their like distribution like um I'm not gonna say company, but like service, like their distribution service. Um, and at the time, just being like on DistroKid by myself, I was like, yeah, why not? Um, so I did, and it was kind of cool to like have somebody to talk to, like to have someone on the inside of it to do certain things for me. Like if I needed something fixed, it was really cool to have it fixed, immediately. And then it got to a point where they were like, okay, so we're like working on the development of like artists now. So if you have a song coming out, let us know and we'll like try to pitch it to playlists and stuff at SoundCloud. And I was like, cool. And I did, and it like they put them in SoundCloud playlists, but I wouldn't say it was like changing much, right? And then they were sort of like, if you have like songs coming out, we have like ad credit we can use for them for like advertisements. And I was like, okay, I'll like keep that in the back of my mind. And then I had that one, like the video of me singing on a live that blew up that I mentioned prior. It blew up and I was like, hey, yeah, so this video blew up for the song. And they were like, cool, we're going to put like, I don't even remember the number, but it was an insane amount of like an insane dollar amount that wasn't like real money. It was just like TikTok credit. But they were like, we're just gonna pump a bunch of it into like the lead up to the single. And I was like, okay, cool. I think like because it's cool. I don't have to like pay for promotion. That's sick. But it was, I think, and thinking back on it now, I'm like unsure if I should have done it because the song organically it was doing well already, but they like inorganically like pushed that TikTok so hard that it got like not the one, but like the one where I announced that it was coming out. They pushed that one so hard that it got like it was at like 10 million views, and I was like it didn't like all of it. All the comments were like hating on me, and I was like, okay, that kind of sucks. And like the like ratio was whack, and like I got followers from it, but I don't think I want those like followers, just because I don't think they're um like, I think they followed and forgot immediately who I was. So like that part of like TikTok, I think about that a lot, and like think maybe I messed up the like my account even, just because
Yeah.
it's like all the because like the engagement's going to be off if all these people don't really care. So I don't know. It's just something I think about a lot.
Yeah.
And yeah. So like, and then I had another song like last year that was I got it to do well again on TikTok after all this, and I like specifically like told SoundCloud when I was gonna release it, I was like, I don't want any like ads for this one or anything, and they're like, oh, that's cool, it's whatever. I was like, all right, and then that one did fine. So, but then after that, I just kind of fell off and forgot how to do TikTok, I guess, because I took such a long break. I don't know.
Yeah, it's funny. I remember, I think around that same time, 2022, I also was like working with SoundCloud and doing a similar exact thing. And it is cool to have people like, to talk to do that stuff. But it is kind of funny you mentioned, yeah, you mentioned like the weird ad credit thing potentially messing you up. I think it's funny because when TikTok first came out, I actually started using it like a decent amount, and I was like doing the stupid dances and like the stupid lip
Yeah,
syncing.
sure.
I was doing all like the funny stuff that just like,
Wait, you did that? I've never
yeah,
seen
I
that.
used to do that a little bit. It was pretty stupid.
That's
I've
awesome.
deleted all the videos since then. But I remember like because I did that when it first came out, I feel like once I actually started posting, then I took a massive break because I was like, okay, this app is stupid. Like, who cares? Then like everyone actually got on board like a couple years later and then started posting music, and music stuff actually did well, like original stuff. And I was like, oh, like maybe like let me try this out. And then everything just like zero, no views, no views. And I was like, did I mess my account up too because of all the followers? Like, but I don't know. It's like just worrying about that as an artist is it's so like contradictory to like the mentality of a creative person, is like this whole like digital realm, the AI algorithm that's dictating all our streams and our like if we're going to get fans or if our music is pushed out, like literally there's like an AI god that is like literally dictating how successful we will be in music based on like what you post, like the song on Spotify. I don't know, I just find it so weird, and like
Oh yeah, totally.
people just don't talk about like enough. Like it's so like mentally like damaging, I feel like, to real creatives.
Yeah, 100%.
And I just like
Yeah.
got to the point where I just like nothing was working for me, so I just like kind of gave up on that chase of like like TikTok and all that stuff. Not saying like I'm not going to continue to do it in the future, but I just feel like also if your music really is good and like it's genuinely connecting with people, like you can take a massive break, and like Spotify and things will still like live on. Like it'll still, I feel like people put so much pressure on themselves. Like, oh, I'm not doing the crazy marketing thing for like, it's been like 2 months. Like I'm going to lose all my momentum. And it's like, I don't know. I feel like people, yeah, it's just like, I wish other artists like they're, it's nice to know that other people are going through the same thing with it. And I think most people feel that way, where it's like they don't like doing it, but they just have to do it,
Right. Oh yeah. It's like a necessary evil almost in this. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, I was just saying to the people who do enjoy doing it, it's like, kudos. Like that's amazing, but I don't know I have not met someone who like really enjoys the modern like promotion techniques.
Oh yeah, 100%. And I think that's like another thing that I'm like dealing with too, is like I just don't want to make any TikToks. I don't want to make any videos. I don't want to be that. I want to just make the music, right? And it's just a weird time where I have maybe I don't have to, but like it's helpful to, and I just it's like a whole thing. Like I gotta get. It's like I can't put on. I can only wear so many hats and live a life where I have to like make money and pay rent and stuff. So
Yeah, man. That's good that you're like thinking about it though, and that you are aware that it's like I probably need to balance this.
Yeah, no, for sure. Well, thank you. Yeah. And I have like I have a weird, not weird. I have experience with that sort of like feeling that you mentioned prior to like having an account where you were kind of just like playing around with TikTok and then trying to and then using it for music later. I had an account like I'm on the account that I use right now is like my second TikTok account. And I had one prior that like I got it to like 100,000 followers, but I did it by doing a bunch of like gimmicky, like viral stuff. And then every time I tried to post like original stuff, like 100 views, like 200 views, and I'd be like, what's going on? So I just like committed to making a new account where I wasn't going to post any of that stuff, which is this one. And now even now I'm like, oh man, I messed up the account. Maybe I should start over. But
Right.
I mean, you can't do that every single time. I don't know.
Yeah,
It's just weird.
I remember my account got verified, and then I was like, well, shit, now I can't even switch. Because I'm
Oh,
like,
is that
and
really?
it doesn't matter like who gives a shit. It's like completely nonsense. But I remember that happening, and then just being like, I don't know. All of
Yeah.
these things are just silly, you know?
Oh, sure. Especially now where you can just buy verification on almost every platform.
Oh yeah, right, exactly.
That stuff's crazy.
Defeats the point.
I remember I got
Yeah.
I remember I got real Instagram verified, and then literally like 2 months later, they were like, "Yeah, you can actually just pay now and just like pay monthly. It doesn't matter." And I'm like, "Oh god,
Yeah, huge
that's
bummer.
funny."
Now, yeah.
Doesn't matter at all, but it's just like a funny thing, like how things change.
Oh, yeah.
And
Well, just the idea of what verified's supposed to mean is like gone, right? Like some guy with like 3 followers is verified, right? I was just like, I don't know. Just give him a different colored check or something. I don't know.
The peasant check mark.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah, man. No, it's just cool to hear all this, man. Because I love talking about that side of things because I just think it is something a lot of people struggle with, but it's hard to find like help to navigate it. But it's a real thing because it's like, the purpose of making music and art usually is to kind of be yourself and like express yourself. But then it's like you almost have to develop kind of a persona, on the internet. And then it's like, well, you start to feel like that's not me. But then when you start to try to get away from it, then maybe, you're not as successful, and then you start to question yourself and everything. So, yeah, man, I just appreciate you being open about it.
Yeah, no. I mean, thanks for asking me all these things. I like talking about it too, right? I don't have a lot of opportunity in my like everyday life to discuss, music because not everybody I know in real life, has that as something that they're thinking about.
Yeah,
So,
for sure. So just real quick, I just want to ask you about like when you started. It's kind of, it's a generic question, but like I always like want to know what leads people to music or like want or feeling the need to like do this because it clearly does something for you, and it maybe was like a safe space, or I don't know what it was. So I just always like to hear about kind of how that started for you and like what
oh
that was
yeah,
like.
totally. Yeah. I just always sort of had, I was like drawn to music, as a like kid, not to like a extent of like every like a lot of like people love music, right? So and I just loved music as a kid, and I would like sing in the car when I was like in the car seat and stuff like that. And when I finally started to like be of the age to develop my own like tastes in music, I discovered like a bunch of my favorite bands that are my favorite bands now, that would like give me like goosebumps when I would listen to their stuff, and I was just sort of like enthralled by that and that feeling that like external physical feeling that music gave me. I was like, that's crazy. That would be cool to ah man, like that'd be cool to do that one day, right? And I never really considered it like seriously, um, because until like middle school and like high school, I didn't because I didn't know how. Like when you're that age and you're just like a kid going to school, there's not really like a path for that. At least it didn't seem like there was, until I started like getting into the like production stuff, like watching people who produce music, because then I was like, yeah, I could do it myself instead of like have to figure out who to know to do it, right? Um, and I throughout high school I was just like making covers and stuff, and I covered one of Braden's songs, like after graduating, like the summer after the fact, and that's how we connected. Very like briefly. That was cool for me when that happened, because I was like, oh my god, this is crazy. Because it's cool to be noticed by people that you idolize. But anyway, getting into the production stuff helped me like set my sights on what I actually wanted, and getting into like the independent scene especially showed me that it was possible for like just anybody feasibly to do this, if the proper conditions are met, I guess. But yeah, that's sort of like the thought process. And another thing too is I just didn't know what else I wanted to do after school. Like I graduated high school, and that whole year where like everybody's applying to colleges and stuff, I was just sort of like, I don't, what do I do? I don't know what to do next. And I just like procrastinated, so I didn't apply anywhere, and I didn't apply for like the FAFSA like student loan stuff. So I was like, guess I'm taking a gap year. And then I did, and then I'm still in my gap year. It's been like 6 years.
That's great. Yeah.
And so I just started doing this, which was the plan. I was going to do a gap year to focus on this. That's what it became. But I got lucky, right?
And
So
you
I think
worked
that's part
hard,
of it too.
and you kept going.
Sure. Yeah, I think it's like almost equal parts like luck and proficiency. I think I said that to somebody yesterday, because I teach I teach voice lessons too on the side now, as of semi recently, because I was like, I gotta get out of like the food industry, like just like the food service stuff, because it's like not to like degrade anybody who does do it. It was just like beating me down. So, but yeah, I think luck is like it's unfortunate, but I think it's true that luck plays a part in all of this.
Yeah, and I think luck sometimes, or whatever that is, like the more you show up though, and the more you're willing to do stuff, I feel like the better your chances are of just like crazy, weird synchronicities and stuff. So yeah, that's cool. It's really cool.
Yeah, I guess it's just like putting yourself into the place where something can transpire, I guess.
Yeah, you can't win the lottery if you don't buy a ticket,
That's so true. Dude, I had a dream last night that I won $67,000 at the casino.
Nice, dude.
And it was terrible when I woke up.
Yeah,
dude, that always happens to me. I hate that.
I couldn't. I was so bummed, bro. I was. It was like it was almost. And I wasn't gonna say this. I feel like people aren't gonna believe me, but I had that dream, and then I woke up, and then I was like, oh man, that was a dream. But I was in another dream where I went to the casino after waking up, and then I won like $500, and then I was like, okay, well at least I won some money, and then I woke up for real, and I was pissed.
That's funny, man.
That was today.
Worst rendition of Inception ever.
Might still be a dream. You never know. You'll be hitting the casino after this podcast.
Yeah, maybe in real life. Maybe my real self is at the casino. Oh man, don't tempt me.
Maybe this is a sign. Dude, I hate that. You know what's the worst? What's even worse than that is like, I just will have dreams where it's like it happens with music. And I'm like, what could possibly be more like just mean? Like,
oh yeah, that's messed up.
What could be more mean than like like all of a sudden just getting a massive spike on Spotify, and then it's just like 100K streams in one day, and you're like, let's go, and then you wake up and you're just like, literally
37 people listening.
Yeah, what the hell?
Whatever. Yeah, whatever.
It's crazy. Funny. Why do our brains treat us in such ways?
I don't know.
It's crazy. Yeah.
Dude, that little KK slider back there is catching my eye.
Oh, yeah, this guy?
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, he's a Build-A-Bear.
He actually, because I got into Animal Crossing. I don't know which one you like played or if you play it, but it was like the original GameCube version was my childhood. And he would always be playing the acoustic in front of the train station. And at that age, like that actually weirdly kind of like was part of my inspiration for music, because I loved his songs, dude. I would download them from LimeWire, like his songs.
That's super sick.
Yeah, it's a great game.
No, dude, we talked about it a little bit at the show that I saw you at the the Fun House in Seattle. I don't know if you
Yeah, no, I remember.
recall.
Yep.
But I got a sweet hoodie. Anyway, yeah, we talked about it a little bit, and I love Animal Crossing. I didn't grow up with it, unfortunately. I had a GameCube. I had like all the other quintessential GameCube games, like Smash Bros. And like Mario Sunshine and like Mario Party and all that stuff. I just never got that one, unfortunately, because it is unfortunate because that game's awesome. But I played the Switch one, New Horizons, during like COVID, like beginning of COVID, and I think that like saved my brain for like unironically, because it was just what else to do, right?
And it's a good game. Like, you're paying off your house, building, you're part of the community. Like,
Yeah, your debts are achievably,
Yeah.
payable, which is pretty cool. Dude, Tom Nook's actually a saint. No interest.
dude,
That's
he is.
crazy.
He really is. He hooks you
Yeah.
up.
Yeah, for sure. But no, that game's awesome. Yeah, I hope they. I know, like the Switch 2 and everything's coming out, so a new one maybe in the future would be pretty cool.
So kind of going off that, I always like to ask people, like, because we always like to talk about the music and stuff. But outside of that, like, what do you do, or like, what are there things like you're into, or what's your life outside
Oh
of that?
yeah, yeah, totally. Great question. I guess so. Growing up, I did taekwondo for. Oh, you know what? Hold on, my computer. I have like 2 computers going right now, so
One of them's mining Bitcoin right now.
I wish. Yeah, I did taekwondo growing up for 13 years. So that was a big part of my life, martial arts, and graduating high school is when I stopped. Music took the front seat and whatever. Other than that, like right now, I like thrifting a lot. Like almost everything you see in this like room, I got at a thrift store. Like this keyboard is like one of my best finds. It's a Yamaha P105, which I don't know if that means anything to you, but it's like it's got weighted keys. It was $30.
Hammer action.
And it was like,
Damn.
yeah, it was like all messed up. It wasn't super messed up. I think it was like in elementary school's like music room piano, because I found like a bunch of like puzzle pieces in it when I like took it apart.
In it? How does
So
that
that was
even
pretty
happen?
funny. Yeah. No, I don't know. There was a bunch of stuff in there, and then now it works. It's awesome. The desk, my standing desk that I'm like using right now, I got for $20 at like Value Village. Anyway,
Damn, I need to start going to your thrift stores. That's like insane.
yeah, I spend like a ton of time going to like every day. I go to a few at least. Well, maybe not every day because I don't have time, but like a bunch of days. And I got like the I found like 3 MIDI keyboards recently. The one I'm using right now, and they were all like $7.99. It was crazy. Anyway, stop
That's
yapping about the
nuts.
thrift store.
I
Yeah,
didn't
sometimes there's crazy stuff.
I was gonna joke with you like, oh yeah, you found your mic, your keyboard there, like you said everything in that room, and I was like, oh no, it's not gonna be
Yeah.
any like music stuff.
Oh, dude, it's crazy. It's crazy.
You found like a
I'm trying to
license
think.
for like Logic in there. It's
Dude,
just
that'd be pretty cool. That'd be pretty cool. There was one thing that was like super crazy that my fiance found. I don't know if you guys know what this is, but you know Native Instruments, right? Yeah. Have you ever like looked at their hardware, like their MIDI stuff?
a little bit, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. There's a keyboard or a MIDI keyboard. I think it's called the Complete Control S88. 88 keys. I think they're weighted. If not, I don't know. It's like $800, and like she found it at a thrift store, still for a lot, like $150. And I was like, I don't have the money for that, unfortunately, but I'm like really sad now
Dang.
because
Dude, those like
I want it.
elderly people that work there, they have no clue what they are, so they're like, oh, $100 is good.
Yeah, no, totally.
Yeah.
Yeah, you always want to get someone who like cares a certain amount, but not too much
Mm-hmm.
to
Totally.
get the good prices on stuff.
No, we love thrift
Um,
stores, man. We get like all of our film props there, and like
Oh, that's awesome.
just
Yeah, totally.
find the craziest stuff, like old weird
yeah.
stuff.
Yeah, I found an Omnicord there. You guys know what an Omnicord is?
No.
I don't.
I'm trying to, I think I have it in here. Oh, I totally do. Hold on. It's, okay. Hold on. It's in a box.
Is that the saxophone
Okay.
thing? No, that's not. Never mind.
No, it's like a little. Well, this is just the box for it, and I kept the. Where is it?
I thought it was a
Yeah.
cord.
I kept the Value Village sticker on it, so as a prize, like as like a proof of like I got it for $10. Anyway, it's like an '80s synth thing, and it's like goes for like $700 online.
That's nuts.
It's crazy. I found it. It was just in the box too. It was crazy. Anyway,
You got some
Yeah.
some crazy thrift stores over there. That's insane.
I just like every day that I don't, well, not every day now, but like for a long time, like every day I wasn't working,
Mm-hmm.
me and my fiance would go to like every thrift store within like a 20-mile radius. And like most of the time there's just nothing there. But then sometimes I have like, I have 2 Margaritaville margarita makers, Jimmy Buffett. Pretty cool. I only bought the second one because it was $20 and it had a piece I didn't have for the first one that I bought. And I haven't even used it in like a year because I don't like drink it like super often. But now I have it. Yeah, it makes a good like snow cone.
Oh hell yeah! I've read
Yeah.
like I was like really into hockey cards, and I got kind of back into it because there's super rare ones that are worth like $1 million. But yeah, people have found like there's one, it's like a Wayne Gretzky card, like his rookie card, and it's worth like over $1 million. People have like found them in thrift stores. So there was a point where I was going and buying like hundreds of hockey cards, just hoping, but never found one.
Yeah, yeah. That's I'm kind of that. I'm in that now with like Pokemon cards, kind of, because I had a collection as a child, and I never played with them because I didn't know how to play with them, and they're all sleeved, and I was like going through them because I found them recently. None of them are like life-changing amounts of money worth life-changing amounts of money, but some of them are like would go for like $100 if I got them like rated. So I
Yeah.
was just like, now I look for Pokemon cards everywhere, like thrift places. I'm just waiting for my $67,000 that the casino owes me.
Right. Dude, I
So-
found my Pokemon cards too, which is crazy because it was just like I think last year I found them just in this random safe in like my old house that I grew up in. And I was just like, yes, like let's go. And then the only thing I found, I think it was like a first edition Machamp. And it was like it maybe would be worth like, $80, $100 if you like got it graded and everything. And then there's like a Lugia, really decent one. But yeah, the only first edition I found was that one. But I remember I don't know. Did anyone know how to play Pokemon cards back in the day? I feel like you
definitely
just
didn't.
collect. Like some people did play them, but I never understood the game.
Yeah, I knew like one guy who was like 6 years older than me who he said he knew how to play, so I guess I believed him. I don't even know if he did, but I didn't know anybody. I didn't know anybody who did. Same with like Bakugan and those things. Like kids would bring their Bakugans to school and would just be like playing with them, but they wouldn't be playing the game because I don't know a single person who's played Bakugan like for real.
Sounds like something from Squid Game. Is that from Squid Game? Bakugan.
Bakugan?
Sounds like it.
What's the difference between Blade and Bakugan?
Okay, Beyblade's the one that spins.
Okay, yeah.
Which I have a bunch of them because I got
Yeah.
into that one time because I saw TikTok. That was like 4 years ago though. And
Mhm.
then Bakugan is like they're like little ball things and you like roll it and then there's like a magnetic card that you
yeah.
get and then it sticks to the magnetic card and then it like
Okay.
comes out. It's like a monster. It's kind of cool.
I had some of those. Yep, I remember that now.
It's like Transformers in a way. I don't know how to play them though. Yeah, it's pretty cool. I bought one kind of recently, just for fun. It wasn't as cool as I remembered, unfortunately. Unless they changed it, which is possible. I don't know. But yeah, Bakugan, crazy.
We gotta, before I forget, because we almost forgot, we always like to ask if you have a movie of the week. I don't know if you're a movie guy or not,
I would like to be. I just haven't watched very many, and also,
It can be movie of the last 20 years too. That's fine.
okay.
Dun,
I like.
dun.
Well, yeah. So I can't like think of any like ones that I would actually say are like super groundbreaking and awesome, and that I liked a lot and like changed my life sort of vibe. But I really liked School of Rock when I was a kid. You guys seen that
Oh
movie?
yeah. Oh
Good
yeah.
Lord.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we're
that's a classic. Me and
massive
my dad
fans.
likes that one too. My dad's a big School of Rock fan. Classic. And also, you know, I wanted to be in this. I wanted to be in the band.
Same.
Dude,
So
same.
maybe that helped out. I don't know.
It's so crazy. Everyone we talk to, they have like the same stories of like being a kid. And like, oh yeah, I used to watch School of Rock and used to want to be in the band. And I'm like, what? Like, how is that possible? I used to like watch that all the time and
that can't
think
be
the
your
same
thing. It's
thing.
my thing. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just crazy.
Yeah, totally. No, it is funny for sure. But yeah, I guess that's my answer. Yeah. I gotta watch more movies. Right now, all the movies that I see are like in clips on like TikTok or YouTube Shorts.
You don't even need to
Like,
watch the full movies now. People are
Yeah,
just
'cause I'm
putting
just like
clips.
a little brain baby, and then I just fall victim to it, and they get me to go to their account to watch the next clip, and then it's not there, and then I never know how it ends.
Dude, I know. They trick you.
That's how they get me. No, for sure. And that's got to be good for analytics. It's like, oh my gosh, he checked out their account. We better push this video. Maybe I just got to start posting movie clips with my music in the background.
Yeah.
Definitely considered it.
Actually
Yeah.
seems like a
Shutter
good
Island.
strategy because there's this one guy, I think his name is like Naker or something. And I don't know, but he always posts like, it'll just be like a meme or a random clip with his song in the background on YouTube. It's a good strategy right there.
I know who you're talking about, actually.
Got some
Yeah,
good
he
music.
he's got like a Chase Atlantic vibe to him, right?
I've never heard them, to be honest. So
Oh, really?
I don't listen to music, so I haven't even heard break-ins, so I couldn't, I wouldn't even like
Valid. Yeah, I mean,
comparison.
Are you sure? Because I'm pretty sure you followed him on Instagram back in the day. I'm pretty sure I remember that.
I have no clue, dude.
I don't know why, but I remember going to Breakins' page and saw that it was like followed by Say We Can Fly. Back in the day, I just randomly remembered that. Pretty sure.
Couldn't
speaking of
tell.
Instagram, you totally deleted it, right?
Totally gone with the wind. Same with Facebook, Twitter. Yeah.
That's commendable for sure. I found out because I went to like message you something. I don't remember what it was, and I couldn't find your account. I was like, that's weird. And I texted Ben, like Days Waste Ben, and I was like, dude, his account's missing. That's crazy. He was like, yeah, he deleted it, and I was like, oh, okay. It's like, damn, that's crazy.
Yeah, dude.
What made you do that?
Well, I went through kind of a little bit of what you talked about, but I've been going through it for a long time, like with social media, where mentally I just can't handle it. I couldn't do it. And it just got to the point where anytime I'd post anything, I would just get like almost like a panic attack. Like I'm so afraid of like what people thought and would say. And like I didn't really feel that way in real life, but something happened with social where it just built up. And also too, I think I just, my life was changing a bit, and I was like, I just don't want this to be my life anymore, and revolve around it. And I just want to know what life is like without thinking about that. And for me, it was the best decision I ever made. And
Yeah, no, that's awesome.
yeah, so
Yeah, for sure.
that was it. I was just like,
No, I'm glad to hear it.
yeah. And part of it for me was like my social media was never, I mean, it was like booming back way a long time ago, but it just seemed like it didn't have much effect on my Spotify streams, because the algorithm was helping with that. So I was like, that's what I care about. So I'm just going to get off here and focus on other stuff.
Yeah,
And,
totally.
but everyone
that's
thinks you're
awesome.
like dead or like something happened or,
Yeah, it is a weird like I guess societal like hive mind.
Yeah.
If you like go off social media, that like it's because of a terrible like event or something, or
Yeah,
I don't
man.
know.
But it's nice, like, because even for stuff like this, like, I don't know what people are doing or what
Yeah.
they've done. So it's actually nice to just be able to genuinely just ask stuff and hear about people's lives and not know. So
Yeah,
nice.
no, totally.
Yeah.
Yeah, I need to like I put like a less committal. I did like a screen time thing on my phone to like I download an app to like keep me from going on social media. Which is kind of hard because there's just a button that I can hit and turn
right,
it off.
that's the problem. Yeah.
I'm working on it. Yeah.
They make it
Because
so
I saw my
hard.
screen time was like really high. Like my like hours of screen time. I was like, I can't, how is this real? I'm doing my best.
I think Ben was saying this, that he has like a dumb phone as well, like an extra
Yeah, that's
flip phone.
awesome.
And I've been dying, like ever since that podcast, I was like, all right, I'm committing to it. I'm going to get like a flip phone that I can pair with my smartphone. They just make it so difficult though, because it's like, because of iMessage, like I have an iPhone. If someone with an iPhone were to like text me, I wouldn't get it on my flip phone because it doesn't have iMessage. So I'd have to like turn iMessage off in my smartphone. And then it's just like, and then there's so many things you use your smartphones for like throughout the day that's not like just social. It's, it's not just social media. Like I use the notes app, I use the calculator, I use, anything like the weather. And you're just like, it is so difficult to like get away from your phone, I feel like.
You guys ever heard of he's a YouTuber, Eddie Burback? You guys ever seen any of his stuff?
I don't think so.
Don't think so.
He
No.
does like it's like video essay style sort of content. It's like I like it. But anyway, the reason I bring it up is his like most recent video was like getting rid of his phone for 30 days. And so it was like sort of an introspection on like that and how that looks in like a modern age. And it was just like he like ran into a bunch of just like funny like weird stuff that like life is so like weirdly harder now with if you don't have a smartphone. Like he
Mhm.
was trying to like get a pass to take a bus in like I don't know where he lives, somewhere in like California. He was trying to get a bus pass, and usually like the bus pass is like on an app on your phone. And
Yeah.
so he like went to like a CVS to get a bus pass because he looked it up like on his computer at home where to get a bus pass. And like he went to the CVS and he was like, "Do you guys sell the bus pass here?" And he was like, and the guy was like, "We should." And he was like, "Okay." He's like, I don't know. We don't have it, I guess. And then the guy was like, just get it on your phone.
I don't
And
have
so-
one. Yeah.
Yeah. He was like, it's a whole thing, but it's a good video. You should check it out. I love that guy. He's got a bunch of cool stuff. But it's just weird.
I remember the days of just dropping change in the little thing on the bus. A couple quarters,
How the days. Yeah.
Yep.
Dude, you don't even see quarters anymore.
Man,
Well, I do
yeah,
'cause
you're
I
right.
touch them sometimes, but like I don't think I have a single like coin in my house right now.
Really?
I mean, I'm
That's
sure somewhere, but I
commendable.
couldn't tell you where they are. If I
Going
did,
on a
I'd take it
coin
to the
hunt.
casino. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's weird how the
Yeah.
world's changing, man. We love talking about that on here. Just
Yeah, especially even just in like the last like just this last like 20 years, even like comparatively, like, things are so weird.
Yeah, it was just like, I don't know, it would be nice to not have to be so, like you said, like you can't even take the bus without your smartphone. And that's like the thing. It's like, what if I go out in the world with my flip phone and just like, I can't, some crazy situation happens. I need internet. I need, it's like, I don't
Yeah.
know. It's
Like
crazy.
taxis aren't really super a thing anymore. You got to get an Uber, and you can't get an Uber without like going on the app or the website, which you can't do on a flip phone or with no phone at all. It's like, what are you supposed to do?
I think I took like my first real taxi. Well, maybe it was a couple years ago, but I was just in Vegas and I took like just a normal taxi and I was like so nervous. I'm just like waiting in
It's
line. I'm like, what's going to happen? Like, how's this going to work? And then there's a guy who's like, oh, don't worry. Like, we'll get you a car and then just tell him where you want to go. Just like tell him. And I was like, take me to the Sahara. And he's like, got it. And he just went. And I was like, holy shit, this is epic.
You can do that?
Yeah, it was so
It's crazy.
epic. And then I just paid with like my card because he had like a card thing on the back seat. Actually, very enjoyable experience. Like, and I liked it more than trying to like find an Uber and like meet up with the guy.
Yeah, and then like check the car and be like, "Is this my guy?"
Right, yeah.
It's funny. Yeah.
that's funny, man. I
Just-
remember learning how to read maps in school. I guess they probably don't do that anymore. Yeah. I never
I don't know how
understood
to
it.
read a map.
Yeah, it's risky. You're just like holding it
Interesting.
while you drive or something. And I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, I've always sort of been baffled by that concept of like even just like my parents knowing how to get places without using their phone, which I know is like a symptom of the day and whatever, but I feel so locationally like challenged a lot of the time. Like when I was going to school, like when I was in high school, they had like a program where you could like take college classes at the college. So every time I would like drive to the school, I had maps open for like 6 months, and the school's like 20 minutes away. I'm just like,
Oh,
I
wow.
don't know if I'm gonna be able to get there without maps. I don't trust it. I don't know.
That's another one.
It's
Yeah,
just crazy.
if you had a flip phone only, try to go somewhere. Good luck. Gotta use that primal ancient location mapping. I
Now
remember
they
when
got
I
like
lived.
self.
Yeah.
No, sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say. I remember when I lived in LA. It was so easy to go anywhere because it's just like there was like mountains and ocean. So it was like I felt like I knew where I was at all times. But then when I moved back home, it's like now I'm like once again I have no clue where anything is because there's no like I feel like if it depends where you live though. Like if you do live somewhere where it's like okay, there's some mountains over there, there's like kind of the ocean and like then you can kind of figure it out. But it's hard when you live in like a flatter, geographical area because you're just like there's no reference points for anything. But
Yeah, totally. That's just crazy. Yeah, because I don't live in any sort of particularly like metropolitan.
mhm.
You're out in
It's just
Seattle
weird.
or Washington?
Yeah, I'm in Washington. I'm not like in the city of Seattle. I kind of just say that because it's the most recognizable and identifiable. I'm like 40 minutes outside of the city, like south.
Do you
And
play many shows now? You still play
no,
shows?
not really. I want to. I just haven't. Um, it's just sort of like hard, you know.
It's
And
a
I'm
Yeah.
hustle,
just
yeah.
like really like I feel busy. Like I guess I am busy, just not with the things that I would like to be busy with. So it kind of like gets tough to do that kind of stuff, but I'm working on it for sure. It's just like a monetary thing right now. It's
Yeah.
like working is like essential for me, unfortunately, for like working on things that aren't music is essential. Unfortunately. It's just how it goes, I guess.
It's hard without a booking agent too. It's just like doing your own shows and tours and shit. But
Yeah. How do you even get one of those? I don't even know. Do they talk to you or do you talk to them?
don't ask me. I mean, I guess like yeah.
It's always just been through people I knew randomly. But I mean, it's it can be hard to find one that actually gives a shit and
Yeah,
like,
sure.
gets you paid and stuff. So yeah, that hustle is hard, man, touring and shows, especially when you can just kind of like pop on a live stream and probably make maybe as much money as you would have at the show. Like,
Sure. Yeah. Yeah. No, it's just something. Yeah, I'm not even like well versed in that sort of space in like music, which is something I would like to be. It's just like again something with the day and age that we live in is just makes things more difficult and like concerts for like not like smaller artists like myself, but like concerts for bigger artists are just like so unaffordable now with like how ticketing works. It's like a huge luxury for a lot of people. So just like I don't know, not necessarily like my level, but it's just live music in general is like changed a lot too.
It's hard to get people to come out to shows too, even if you do have like a semi decent following. I feel like you need to be like at a certain level where like for whatever reason, like you're just gonna get like, a certain amount of people through the door. That's like the hardest thing I've had is it's like you're obviously we're both I mean you're bigger than I am as far as like numbers wise. But yeah, even when I was at like my biggest point numbers wise, it was always hard. It was always hard to draw people. Even when you have tons of people saying like, "Oh, we're coming out. I'm bringing this many friends." Like, you have all these people like booked, and it's like, and you show up, and it's like sometimes, it's like hard to play shows when that's the case. Like, I feel like you need to get to the point where like, okay, there's for sure 100 people basically going to show up. Then it's like, okay, now I would feel motivated to play shows, but it's hard when
Right.
it's like not that way.
Oh yeah, totally. And with the few live show experiences that I've like had as an artist, uh, one of the first ones was where I was meant to be with Ben opening for like a few other artists at a venue in Seattle. And, it was like set and the venue was booked and tickets were like live. So it was like happening. And then like a couple days before the show, I like texted the guy who was like, booking everything and setting everything up. And I was like, yeah, so like, when should we like get there? Like, what's, like sound check and everything? He was like, oh yeah, we're not coming. And I was like, what do you
Oh,
mean?
really?
And he was like, yeah, we just we just decided not to go. Like, I was like, okay, what do you mean? Because people have bought tickets. And it's like, it was just like a few years ago, but like I had like my friends and family like buying tickets to go to the show. It was like, what do you mean you're not gonna go? So that pissed me off. And then like it was like a whole thing, and like he was like, don't worry, I'll fix it. I'll like change like the the lineup or whatever. I was like, okay, whatever, it's fine. And so he CCs me in on like these emails with the venue, and he's like he's like yapping to the venue. He's like telling them like, yeah, they can probably pull like 50 heads each. And I was like, what are you talking about? I didn't say that. I don't think that's true. Yeah, I was like, oh my God, this sucks. And then I went, and it was mostly my like fucking family that went, and it's fine. But like
Yeah,
I was like, what the fuck? And they didn't even like tell the fan base, because I saw like they didn't like pull very many people, but there were people wearing the headliners merch just standing there.
Really?
And I was like, what
That's
are they gonna
insane.
do? Yeah, and then they're like looking around, and they look at like the lineup posted like on the door, just on like a white, just like a Word document, like posted on like a pillar in the building, and they're looking at it, and like they're like looking at each other, and then they leave, and then they walk out the door, and I was like, that's crazy, bro. Didn't even like make a post or anything. It was weird.
Yeah, man. I got just tired of it, dude. I mean, I used to tour so much, but when you're at that like kind of level, because for me, it's like a lot of times, yeah, like getting 100 people even is like a challenge, because it's just hard. People don't come to shows.
Yeah.
But just I don't know if you've ever done like a tour, but it's like so mentally just like like hard, and like just physically, and you're really committing to all this stuff, and then half the time like promoters just like don't show up, and they just try to not pay you, and it's like a battle to get your guarantee and stuff, and you're just like, fuck this, man. Like, I mean, there's good parts to it, but just at that level it can be kind of sketchy, man. Like, people are just
Oh yeah,
sketchy with
I
it.
bet.
So
Yeah, for sure. It's something. Yeah, I've not toured before, but it's something that I, at my current like level, feel so like anxious about, just because I don't know. It's just all of that, and stuff that you're talking about that I haven't even thought about. It's just like, how am I supposed to keep track of all that stuff? I just don't feel like I'm in a place to be doing that.
yeah, and it sucks you have to
Which
think
is a
about
bummer.
that stuff.
Yeah,
but-
sure.
It's not all bad though. I'm not
Ex-
trying to shit talk it, but
Oh yeah, no, totally. I mean, yeah, it's just like people will like comment, be like, "You should come here," and it's like, I would love to.
Mhm.
I just don't know
Brazil,
how.
come to Brazil.
Yeah, love that
Brazil
stuff.
waits for you.
I love that too.
I would love to come to Brazil.
Yep.
Fly me out.
We all apparently have like millions of fans in Brazil. So
Yeah.
what are
is
we
with
doing?
that?
What are we doing?
That's funny.
We need to set up a show there.
We're gonna pull numbers.
Yep. But Braden Berry, I should say,
Mhm.
talks about like just like overseas, like the turnouts are just significantly better, like the ratio to fans. And I've had a lot of people who live overseas, like friends of mine, who are like, seriously, if you come to Germany, like you're gonna sell tickets. Like, even if you have a small fan base, like they're coming. And I don't know. That's like the US does have and maybe it is like the ticketing system stuff in the US. People just don't like concerts as much.
Well, so many of the venues are like run down and kind of like not a good
Yeah.
vibe.
Oh sure.
Totally.
And even just like, I mean, statistically, I'm not like the the class disparity in the in the United States right now is just like, so many people can't even think about that kind of thing when they have to afford food and a place to live, which is a bummer. And not to get like too political, but that's just
I
like
know what you're
something I
saying.
think about a lot too, is like, who's got the time really, like
That's true.
feasibly.
Yeah. If you could just live stream it, I guess. What is it? I don't know. I miss. It's funny because I don't even go to shows really, and like I know some musicians that do go to a lot of shows, but yeah, it's like a big event to go to a show. So yeah, I feel like I don't know. Hopefully one day we'll get to the point where we can just like go on a tour and it's like, there's guaranteed, got at least
It's all
250
really
people in
nice.
each room. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
But and yeah,
just not the time, I guess.
So
eventually though.
What's next for you? Like, what are you working on? What's on the old horizon for you right now?
Yeah. Sort of just like going back to not to say like my roots, but like getting back into that creative mindset. Because after I released that EP, Digilog, I had trouble like knowing what to express myself with and about, because a lot of my struggle internally with my musicianship and even just like myself, I feel like I elaborated fully on in the EP, like within the confines of it. And so for like that year after, I didn't put out very much stuff just because not because I didn't want to, but I just didn't know what I was doing again. So this year I'm just trying to get back into expressing myself and like, focusing less on the numbers, because at the end of the day, like putting out music versus not putting out music, which is going to perform better, right? Like putting something out no matter what is going to like be better than not doing anything and just sitting on stuff. So that's what I'm doing, is just locking in, trying to make stuff, trying to keep pushing forward. Yeah. And, also because of like after like my EP came out and it was doing well, I had like a lot of cool things happening where like I was like talking to people and I was talking to labels and stuff, and none of it panned out like in a way that I wanted it to. So I didn't go through with anything, which sometimes I think about. Sometimes I think like, what if I had done certain things? Maybe it would have been different, but I think everybody has those sort of like thoughts and potential regrets. So I'm trying to not do that and just focus on the music again. That's it, man. That's my whole plan, I guess.
Totally. Just to set the record straight, I did call your EP Dialogue by accident. It's actually Digilog.
That's okay. No, that's okay.
Dude, I looked at it and it just looks so similar to Dialogue, but I guess that's the point.
It totally does.
Digilog.
I didn't want to. Yeah, no, I didn't want to like sound like an asshole. So I just like
Braden, edit this in. Ready?
Yep.
Digilog. Just put that right.
I'm gonna do it.
It's gonna it'll be seamless. You'll never notice.
I'm gonna do
totally.
It. That's funny.
Don't do it.
I'm not even worried about it. I'm not even worried about it.
That's funny.
That's funny. Yeah, all those words.
What was that weird thing that happened where this like guy just randomly stole your entire like chorus?
Oh yeah,
dude, that was so weird. He was like some major label artist in a
that.
different country, just jacks your entire like hook.
Yeah, I forgot that. Yeah, that totally happened. Yeah, so that's a fun story. Yeah, Unalive came out finally. It had been like 9 months after the first snippet came out, so I was like, a long time coming. Unfortunately, within those 9 months, gave a lot of people time to listen to it, I guess.
Yeah,
and it wasn't even like
before
super
it dropped?
soon after. That was before the album dropped.
Oh, okay.
But like the EP, I was good in terms of legality because my song did come out, which I don't know what would have happened if I hadn't dropped it yet. But anyway, September Unalive comes out, and I'm like, furthering the EP. I like have released the singles for it, and I get like a DM request on Instagram from like a fan who, like, I'm glad I checked because sometimes things, slip through, but I looked and he was like, hey, I thought you should like see this. There's a guy called Samurai J here in Italy. He's like a big artist in Italy, and he totally like ripped your song. You gotta hear it. And I was like, yeah, I take that back. Multiple people DM'd me, like at least 3. So I was like, okay, interesting. So, I go and I look at it and I'm like, waiting and I'm listening to it. I'm like, it's probably just like some sort of like weird coincidence where it's like
Right.
kind of like you
Like,
can
oh, maybe
squint.
just a little bit of a melody, but nothing too
Yeah,
crazy.
yeah, yeah. And then the chorus hits, and it's the exact melody and the exact like key, the exact tempo, like everything,
Everything's
like the
exactly the same.
cadence of it. I was like, that's crazy. And then I look at the guy, like the artist, he's like, he's like signed to Universal, like in Italy, so he's like big enough. And I was like, what the hell am I gonna do? So I was like, it like ruined my morning. I was like, what the hell am I gonna do? What is this? Like, how do you even navigate something like this? So I had a sad shower, and then I went into my office and made a TikTok, as one does, where I was just like, here's what's happening. I don't know. I'm just making this video because I don't know what to do, and I don't want Universal to come after me because I'm the little dude, and we have a song that sounds very similar. Who has the legal team? So I was like, I don't know what to do. The TikTok did really well, thankfully. That's like one of those moments where like I am grateful for TikTok. And I get into contact with like a lot of musician friends that I have like text me like, if you need a lawyer, here's the one that I use, and blah blah blah, and all this stuff. And I was like, okay, cool, thank you. Everybody's like being super nice to me. This is great. I have a mutual, and I don't know if you guys know who he is. His name is John Harvey. He's had a few songs that like did really well on TikTok. And he messaged me and it was like, dude, this is fucked up. Can I send this to my lawyer for you? And I was like the video, and I was like, yes, please. And he connected me with his lawyer, and she's like super nice and, like integrated in the business. And she was like, I'm just going to like help you out for free and we'll get this figured out. I was like, no way. That's crazy. I was like, thank you so much. And she like wrote up an email to, like we had a Zoom call scheduled. And like a few like hours before the Zoom call, the guy, like the artist, messages me on Instagram, and he
really?
yeah, he like DM'd me, and he was like, hey man, like I really like I have no idea how this happened. Like someone must have been like playing your song in like the studio, and it like, I don't know, like the top line got like, I don't know, but I'm like I'm sorry, can we like hit me up, we can like work this out. And I just screenshotted it and sent it to the lawyer. And she was like reading it as the call started, and she was like, no fucking way that he sent you this. And I was like, yeah, is that good, you man? And she was like, yeah, this is great. And so I was like, cool. I didn't respond to him. But yeah, she like emailed the legal team, or his legal team or whatever, and they were like, we'll give you 33% writing credits, just like take the video down. And I was like, okay, really? I guess. Yeah, but my lawyer was like, she's really cool. She was like, we signed everything and everything was good, and like the splits were what they are. It wasn't for any like of the master. It was just the writing credits, unfortunately. Because but anyway, she was like, yeah, you're like good, and there's nothing in this contract that says that you have to delete the video, so you can do whatever you want. And I was like, that's awesome. I didn't delete it. I privated it just because I was like, I don't want to like make enemies. But I was like, that's cool that was an option. But yeah, it was a good time for me, and everybody was good. Not to say this was cool, but everyone was going on to his like TikTok and being like, yo, this sounds a lot like Braden Ross. Like, this is a Braden Ross clone. And I was like, yes. Awesome.
Yeah.
I'm not the clone anymore.
It was exact. It wasn't like I accidentally heard this. It's like, no, this was exactly the same.
And then I was getting like hate on Twitter from it too. People were like, oh, the guy who copies break-ins is mad that someone copied his song. And I was like,
dude,
can't win.
You know what's wild? I had the exact same thing happen with another Italian artist. Exact same.
Yeah, people in
So
the
weird.
guy. It's weird. It's really weird. The guy that told me that it was happening, he was like, "Yeah, dude, Italian artists are like assholes.
Yeah.
Like they be doing this shit."
I didn't handle it
Did
the
you
right
really?
way,
Yeah.
but I mean,
What happened? If you don't mind talking about
yeah,
it.
not at all. It was a song called Lifeboat.
Yeah, I know that song.
Yeah, it's one of my favorites that
Yeah.
I've written. So
Is that
yes,
with Miley Cyrus's brother?
no,
or is
it's
that
a
a different
different
song?
same EP,
Okay.
but different song.
Okay.
But yeah, someone messaged me and they're like, "Hey, there's this Italian guy. Like this song sounds exactly like Lifeboat." So I go listen to it. I'm like, "Oh, the verses are meh, whatever." But then the chorus hits, exact same. It's all in Italian though, right?
That's
And
same with mine. Yeah.
It's same melody, same pacing. He's even got like a church bell hit where I had one.
Damn.
And I was like, "Oh shit!" Like, and he's like decently big too. Like he's on one of those huge labels, really
God damn it,
popular
dude.
guy. Yeah. So I ended up,
What's
That's
going
their whole
on?
strategy.
yeah, I DM'd him, and he was immediately like, "Oh, dude, like I'm so sorry. Like my producer must have like done that, like and I
It's the
basically
same shit that he said to me
yeah,
too.
I ended up like just having him do because he wanted to FaceTime me, so we did, and then he ended up doing a feature for me. But then when time came to release. Came to release it, he was like, "Yeah, I can't do primary. Like, you can't put my name on it." So I should have just like, gotten probably
That's
a lawyer.
fucked up.
But
I think that's. I want to say that's like the same shit that the guy like offered me. Not necessarily like a feature, but I'm pretty sure he was like, "Dude, hit me up. Like, we should work."
Right.
It's like,
Braden, you need to give me some more melody ideas.
yeah, it's like, what the hell? So that's
Ugh.
is that just the business model then? Because that's
Must
crazy.
be.
That's
Must
like
be.
exactly the same shit.
yeah, it's a compliment though, I guess, on your work. So,
Yeah, I guess.
dude, I also had some guy like literally take my audio files and upload them as an album under his name, under different song names on Spotify.
That's crazy.
That's a classic too. People get their songs jacked on Spotify.
I've had that before, but not where they've changed the entire. Like they didn't change the name. They kept the IRSC code or whatever it is. So it had all the streams on it on his.
Yeah, they're like
dumbass,
jacking streams.
2
from you,
monthly
basically.
listener account. I was like, "What's going on? How is this allowed? Are they getting money from this?" I'm like, "What?"
Yeah,
Like you just put it in DistroKid and call it yours, I guess.
I love how anyone
like-
can just upload something on DistroKid and just like say it's like. I think Convolk, he's an artist I worked with or I produced some stuff for him back in the day, like just whatever. And he recently had a song come out for like one of the first songs that came out in like months for him, and it was just some random kid that just uploaded it under Convolk's name. It's just a horrible song, and it's just like, why does that like shouldn't it be harder to do that? But I feel like it happens.
It should be
a
so
lot.
hard. Oh
Yeah.
yeah, no, it's ridiculous. It's even like a thing where like in DistroKid, it like says, "Hey, don't put someone else's name."
Yeah,
Don't
just
do
don't
it.
do it.
Even though they're gonna let you do it. It's like, why don't you figure out how to let that not happen?
I've had like remixes just come out on my profile that I did not approve of, or like someone just randomly did, and I'm like, what the
Yeah.
heck's going on?
Shit's
And you gotta
crazy.
delete
I'm glad
it
that I haven't had that happen to me, thankfully. But it's crazy that it can just happen because I've seen it happen to other people. It's like, what the hell? Like, what is this? Can we have like an ID pin number
Right, just
maybe
anything,
or something?
The most lowest common denominator or something.
Yeah, it's
Like
like
a
for some reason they
two-factor
can't
fucking-
code something simple like that. Like, I don't
Yeah.
know.
It's funny.
Just send me a text or something.
Yeah.
You know,
That's all you got.
Yeah,
two method verification.
it's just weird. And then they don't get like, there's no like actual punishment, so they can just do it again.
Right.
Like I've seen, not me, but like other artists who get like shit leaked or like have stuff come out under some other dude's like fake Spotify, and it gets taken down, and then it just pops back up on another fake Spotify account. This is weird. It's like farming money. And they do that with like AI stuff now too. There's like AI like instrumental music that Spotify actually like pushes in playlists, and it's just like, who's making this money? It's like a Spotify front for like taking money from artists.
Because it waters down everything too.
Conspiracy
like,
theory, but yeah.
Yeah, it's just like it sucks because it does like water down like, the amount of music out there that people are making. So
Oh yeah.
yeah,
It's weird.
weird time
Terrible
for
time.
sure.
Terrible time for technology in a weird way.
Oh,
It's
totally.
advancing in a bad direction, in my opinion.
Yeah, it's going a bit too hard. Yeah, I agree.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's like when are we gonna stop? We're never gonna stop. just humans, they always want to keep making stuff and like, yeah, we know
Right.
this could end the world, but we'll, just keep going.
Somebody's got to do it. If somebody's going to do it, we have to do it.
Yeah, I can pay a robot $0 to do what you're doing.
Exactly.
You know, it's crazy.
Well, dude, thank you so much for coming on, dude. It was a
Yeah,
great
this was
Oh
great,
yeah,
man.
for sure. Pleasure. Thank you for having me. It was
Yeah.
a great time. Love you guys both. So
Yeah, same, dude.
Thank you.
This is always nice because we get to talk to people, get to know people, like probably otherwise wouldn't. Just it's really nice. So we appreciate it.
yeah, no, thank you.
So-
No, that was great. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm stoked.
Anything else you want to promote or say before we
Yeah.
wrap it up?
I mean, I've got a song coming out that I haven't announced yet. Like May 9th, if you want to check it out. If not, that's okay. Other than that, it was a great time, and I hope everybody has a good day and year and whatnot. So
We love it.
yeah.
All right. Thank you all for tuning in to the show. This has been Braden Ross, and we will catch you in the next one.
Peace.
Epic.